Subscribe to the fl0m Clips and Highlights channel. Also, shout out Richard Lewis. Check out his Substack. He's beautiful. Also, can't believe he got this so quick. HLTV could never. Astralis' new ownership deal is done. After months of speculation, the organization has ended up in a pair of familiar hands. Questions about the future still remain. They still remain? How? Following a period where the Danish org was uncertain, the ownership finally changed hands on September 5th. According to public available Danish business registry, Astralis A/S terminated ownership on the above date, and new owners are now listed as Fusion Esports Group, who have absorbed 100% of the company. Who are they? After a talk about potential Chinese and Middle Eastern ownership, it seems fitting that the org is now in the hands of one of its executives in the form of, was that Jacob or Jakob? On Christensen, dude. Christensen? You're supposed to say like, I'm assuming he's Danish. You're supposed to say it with like a potato, right? That's like a joke. Like you're supposed to like get real thick with it, yeah? Anyway, Christensen has been involved with Danish esports for at least 15 years and founded Copenhagen Wolves, as well as co-founding Blast before joining Astralis. His impact on Danish esports has been so far profound, but as the previous executive body found out, it's not as easy as you think. All right. So that's kind of cool. Less is known about the finances behind the company. The owners of Fusion are listed as JLK Holdings that have been defunct for some time and likely just a way for him to operate across his multiple interests. In terms of capital, it isn't clear where the initial money required to purchase Astralis came from, nor is it public how much the final sale price was. This publication understands that Fusion's bid wasn't the highest, but was as the most desirable for continuity. That's interesting. Okay, so Richard knows that there were other bids, but they accepted this guy's product because they wanted to make sure it was, in Danish Counter-Strike's hands, considering it's Astralis. You know what I'm saying? While many of Astralis' problems historically have stemmed from incompetence, since the org is stripped down to just being a CS team, new issues has been finances, recent roster moves. Yep, there's stuff with the VRS. Absolutely. The most recent roster move is emblematic of their recent history, replacing an expensive $1 million signing that underwhelmed with an inexpensive pickup. Yeah, basically, they just constantly keep getting it wrong. Without wishing to add too much editorializing, he has a proven track record of being able to min-max multiple titles. Copenhagen Wolves were known for scouting talent. This is the org that first found, dude, Bjorkson, holy fuck, what a shout out. And Firebat also, and we're in there, dude. So basically, Richard's glass half full version, without trying to probably throw shade at the Astralis organization, is that this guy's scouted some really incredible talent before, and hopefully he can do that again instead of Astralis just lighting money on fire all the time. So it's kind of more of a wait and see. I do wish we had the number though. Having the number would be so sick. If anything, I know a lot of people like to hate watch Astralis and like flame Astralis, and I am one of those people. Like I do think that like they deserved all the criticism they got. However, I am so happy the org is not gone. That's kind of my sentiment towards all this is like how it's like we'd be missing a piece of history. We'd be missing the most major winning org of all time to shit. Like I don't want them to completely be gone. Like don't get me wrong, I flamed the shit out of them, and I think deservedly so. It's why they got bought out and why they struggled. But I am so happy we're not losing the org. Too many people take things a little bit further and they're just like, yeah, dude, never come back. Like no, we need this. And I actually like that Astralis is a Danish only team. Now that won't stop me from teasing Danish Counter-Strike, considering how many majors they have and how rough they've been and how much money they spent on certain moves. This will not change me from laughing at some of their decision making. That's still fair game, but I am glad that the organization does not disintegrate. I can have it both ways. I don't care what anyone says. Look at my body. I can have it both ways. I always have my cake. Always have my cake. I just think that it would be, I don't know. It would just suck ass, dude. It would just suck if Astralis was like, yep, closing up shop, closing our doors, and we're gone. It'd actually feel really fucking bad. Take it from a North American Counter-Strike fan. Like the Danish Counter-Strike scene doesn't need that. Well, they don't need that. We just lost Cole. They don't need to lose Astralis. So glad that there's new ownership. Glad Astralis isn't disintegrating. We'll have to wait and see if they are smarter than previous management when it comes to roster moves. But as Richard Lewis pointed out, this guy is responsible for some pretty popular and well-known signings from back in the day and scouting them early. So hopefully he can build up that culture at Astralis going forward. That's my glass half full. I'd rather it be that way. We need orgs to stick around, not go away. So hopefully I wish them success. Not too much success though. We don't want to run back the 4 major Astralis. Not success, but not too much success.